Okay, get this working properly. Okay, had a dog's jumped all over me and got mud everywhere. Anyway, um, had a bit of a moment this morning. Realized that I can't stream tomorrow morning because I have a doctor's appointment. So I was like, I want to get developers that streaming because yeah. So this is a developers that stream, not a Liquid Sky stream. For that purpose. But I've got to figure out. You remember the part where I said, "Oh, let's take notes so I can remember where I am." We kind of did that part. Okay. Do I have to really close it to get it to? No. What was it? Oh, no spaces. Okay. Ramble Geek. Good morning. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Dan hasn't. Either Dan hasn't posted in Discord or he hasn't streamed in a few days. Oh. Ah, nice. And I'm doing developers.stream. Awesome. Okay. That was sloppy. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Yes. However, I realized I have a doctor's appointment at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So I couldn't stream tomorrow if I wanted to. So I figured I'd move this forward because I did skip earlier in the week, right? So yes, it did not dawn on me until just now that I'm going to skip. And yes. So, and I wasn't making much progress on the single stuff anyway because I got diverted last night on other pursuits. So yeah, we're going to get some developers.stream stuff done. See if we can make this up as we go along, as is the best way. Get that Twitch account linked, and yeah. So, what was I up to last week? Oh, I remember this now. Oh yes. Oh yes. I was having fun with trying to use options. Yeah. You you both you probably glad you didn't join us last night because you probably would have been up later because we were down a big rabbit hole of AI. It was actually quite a lot of fun with a lot of learning. Yeah, but we will share. Okay, so what I got working last time was I got the link to on the where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? On the page in the profile. Nice. We right now I'm gonna this is the link. However, we're gonna generate the link eventually, right? But this is the Twitch button, right? So this is gonna get us a link to Auth with Twitch. Now this is that code flow. So this is going to request a code from them with the client ID. They're going to send us a code back, and then we send them another request with our secret attached to validate that we actually are who we say we are, right? So they'll give us a token back. That's the workflow. So the only thing the user needs to click is this connect Twitch. Hey, Dota. Good morning. When they click this, Twitch will authorize return back to a callback. And I've got that callback hooked up in the API as link account, right? So in that page, you'll see there's a callback URL, and that is a valid callback URL of link account. When we receive this, the idea will be in here, we, go into, go to implementation. Basically going to go into this, get the code out, and then post back to Twitch to get an actual token. So we're going to get an authentication response, which is going to give us this, right? That's the goal. Obviously this isn't happening right now. I'm just testing that I get this far. Nice. That's good of them. They seem to be very good on those replacements. And the goal today will be to try and capture this information. And essentially, like we said, all we need from this token is the preferred name. Hi, Satimi. What is the meaning of the in keyword used in the primary constructor? Oh, in here. So in means I don't get a copy of this, so it's an in variable only, so I can use it here. So if you want read-only properties on a primary constructor, so this is how you might do it. So if you do right, if you do this in a regular class, right, you'll have a read-only copy of that number, right? If I change that, obviously I can then change that number within. However, if I don't put in there, then anywhere in my class I can reference configuration, right? So if I can do here, I can say configuration. If I can spell, right? But if I just if I put that back, right, I can still reference it, but it's a parameter and it's in only. So it gives me the ability to do this, and then I don't actually need this value. I just need the actual configuration. So I like the pattern. I've been playing with it, so using it there. Looks used. Oh, you got a refurb. I mean, as long as it works, right? I mean, it's better than one with a dead OLED screen, OLED touch, right? So yeah, I'm using this to hand off primary constructor variables and give a reference. So I can't then change it. Client, I probably won't do that with, but anyway. So yeah, the goal is to get there. However, I'm trying to get to use options more. And I've been having a heck of a time here. So from the website, because I am referring to because the website, this is the server side of the web, right? This can call the same handler that the API calls, right? So which is annoying, but it's to allow it to support client side rendering and server side rendering, I need to have the same functionality, right? That's what we're trying to do. But it means that I have to set up the configuration from both sides, right? So from the API side and from the server client. But what I'm not seeing, I'm trying to use the options pattern, right? So there's two ways of doing this. Configure, which is what I'm considering, which I've been reading up and says that's the old way of doing it. This is a replacement of that, right? Hi, Emporium guy. How you doing? And everything I'm seeing says I should do this one first, and then I can do the Twitch configuration one. Yeah. However, what's happening is I just keep getting it saying, "No, I don't have options," which is driving me insane. Once I get it figured out, I'll add this into an extension method and put it somewhere. But for right now, I can't do that. But back in Visual Studio, heresy. I'm on Visual Studio because this is developers.stream. I do not want to be using Rider and make people think they have to use Rider to use developers.stream or to build developers.stream. So I'm using this. How's the recovery going? So what's going to happen is it's going to go bleh. Some services are not able to be constructed. Developers.stream iTwitch client, transient, implementation type, Twitch client, unable to resolve service for type, options while attempting to activate Twitch client. Lifetime. No, it's transient. It shouldn't matter. The client, the Twitch client should be transient because it can't be scoped because this is a singleton. But it can't resolve the options of Twitch configuration, which is driving me crazy because everything I see I've set it up. So I'm trying to find out what I'm missing here. This has been the week of not struggling, but irritating issues that block me from moving forward, like the signal on the Liquid Sky side. Everything I read says that's the right way to do it, and it should and the effect should capture it. But does it happen? No. So yeah. Now the interesting thing to me in all this is I'm not sure that you need quite the same things because I only added this later, but this was all still working. We hit one at work. America, Chicago works fine. However, America, Chicago producing error, but only on certain screens. Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Wonder why. So this is using the Microsoft extensions options, the options builder, right? These are not using. They are. Add options. See, that one uses configure. I wonder if I can do that. Let's do it that way. Dot configure. That's easily done. Builder.configuration.get section Twitch. Ah. Add, create default options. Say calling configure. This is a confusing API, but let's hope that that's the actual challenge. That's the actual problem. So you add options and then you configure. But again, I'm seeing differing versions of that. So we need that in both places, unfortunately. Wait a second. It does look to be kind of consistent. So we'll see. Why is this not configured? I don't get it. So iTwitch client, live Twitch client, unable to resolve service type, iOptions, Twitch configuration. I've created a library for the Twitch piece so it stays outside of everything else, right? So infrastructure at Twitch, right? So we can deal with that separately. So it's shareable from both API and from the web. That's fine. It's an infrastructure layer. These are both presentation. I decided to do what I thought would be a simple change and it's turned it to more than I bargained for. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Using Twitch Lib. No. No. I will not use Twitch Lib even if it comes out, I'm not using Twitch Lib, yeah. Um um in answer to your question, Dota, if someone's just throwing ideas out there without any context, what you need to do is try and figure out their priorities. Like, because sometimes people just throw, like when they're putting ideas out, they're not they're not really thinking about what they would prefer, and it's where you need to start giving them, okay, well, which would you prefer to be focused on? Like, which ones are pie in the sky? Make them try and work with you to figure out the details. More and more details are the ones you care about, and um, focus them in on which ones they care about the most. And you can't produce everything, right? So you have to be realistic. So why am I getting complaints about options? So by the way, I'm doing this because this is, as far as I understand, the better way to do this. Um, and this is an open source project. If this was just me right now, I would default back to my manual loading of these options. The benefit of using this is what you can do is you can in here instead of having these I options, I could actually have subscribable options so that if they change, I get the update. So the next time I call this, I will get the updated configuration versus that. Is a more platform consistent way of doing it. So I don't want to revert back to my normal way. However, I'm not sure what I'm missing in this. you know. So you can close liquid sky for now. Um, no, not yet. We need to get this stabilized and consistent. So Timmy, it won't let you post links in the chat, I'm afraid. If um so if you want, if you've got a link you want to share, you can PM me, and I will share it to the chat. Um I had issues with bots in the past, I'm afraid. So it's defaulted to prevention. Um so we have, yeah, so um sorry. Um let's have a look. Let's ask the AI. How do I do that? Open chat window. Why do I get an error telling me that eye options Twitch configuration isn't set when I have configured Twitch configuration? Yes, it does. Mm, no, no. They're in the they're in the secrets. So by the time this goes to load anything, they should be there. Well, I've tried that. So add options is meant to work. The bind, yeah, it's Bensworth, you have to have gone through this because you've built a lot of these. Any insights? If you're still around, I'm going to throw something through a wall. I don't get frustrated with this, but this is just come on. Why? So there's multiple versions of this, right? You can do this and then bind. That's one version. That's what it was started as today. Let's give that a whirl. What is the one that happens? I've got to make sure to do it in both places every single time, by the way, because if I don't, um, um, one of them's going to throw up, and it's going to think I'm going to think it's causing the problem. So app settings there, app settings there. They both have client ID and secret. Hold on, we got one more thing to test. I think it's going to error still. Yeah, hold on. It did just tell me, right, that that should be that and that should be that. And that should be that, and that should be that. This I actually referenced by that. So let's see what happens if it's case sensitive or not. If this has to be there, yes, I'm going to be frustrated. No. So what am I missing? You know, I mean, I stream this deliberately to highlight that, you know, nothing's perfect. So hold on, where's my open chat window? So we got client D, we got secret now. Let's do a new chat. I have client D and secret. That's it. The auth URL does not matter. That's the discarded value for this. See, it's there anyway. I don't like AI. I have configured the Twitch configuration. When the application starts, throws an exception telling me it cannot resolve my options configuration. What configuration am I missing? Let's see if it tells me to do. Now I've changed this. Let's see if it tells me to go back to the configure. No, we don't need that. It's not gonna believe me, is it? Until it's not gonna believe me until these align perfectly. Right. We'll leave that as is for right now just to prove it, right? So normally what I do is so that bind that we use, what I normally do is have a thing that says resolve Twitch configuration, and then I call bind with the settings. Twitch configurations in the shared library, so yeah. Right, it might be the worst, but it still should have. We're not. Oh, that's the point of. So they're saying configure that, that, move that back to configure. I'm not manually injecting. No. No. No, that's not working. Well, it's clearly reading them because it knows that the app settings doesn't have. It's got the context. AI suggestions might be inaccurate. You think? Yeah, it's clearly reading them because it does have. it's checking the app settings and it's checking the Twitch configuration. My biggest issue with this sort of stuff is the longer it goes on, the more things I'll try, and the less I'll know when I get to the answer. But I'll be so happy to get to the answer that I won't go back. Okay, let's test this. Let's not do that. Let's app.map get test my options Twitch configuration. In the Twitch client, I'm requesting options. Good morning, one line, by the way. So in here, I'm asking for iOptions. That does not have any bearing on it. Hold on. That would be irritating if it shouldn't matter at all, that. That should not have any bearing on anything. Just dawned on me that's the only other difference that I would not do. No. It's the in message with dependency injection. Lesson learned. Oh. It's using that. So that would work normally if I'm constructing an object, but if I'm injecting, I can't use that. Why would that change anything though? Because it's still a dependency. No, it's not double registering Twitch client. Where did you think it was double registering Twitch client, Mojo? So all of those could have worked. We're going to leave it with configure. I don't think that's necessary. Transient and HTTP client. No, that says, so this registers Twitch client. This says, oh, if I ask for an iTwitch client, you're going to give it an instance of this back. Making me doubt myself there now. That's not normally because you can't register this with an interface. But I don't want to inject a Twitch client. I want to inject an iTwitch client so that I can swap out the implementation and use testing. Should give it back an instance based upon this, right? Okay, so that's better. I'm happy with that. Let's see. So yeah, it looks like it can't resolve the dependency if you're using the in. That's annoying because that's something that I don't want, because that causes a problem if you use inheritance as well. Okay, let's test it. The more important thing is that I'm testing it. So the way this works is you go to profile. Just remember I was logged in. Okay, connect Twitch. So when it comes back, yeah, here we go. So we have a command and it has a code. So now, so that what that's done is the web is what's running that, right? We've hit the profile. The callback from Twitch has come back and hit the API directly. right? It's coming to here. We're getting there now. This Twitch client piece, we should have a console write line of the code somewhere. No. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So let's make this work now. So for this to work, we need to get, and the flow I'm following here for everyone's reference is like this. So I've made the request, I've got the code back. Now I need to go and make a further request using the secret to the token endpoint, right? So Twitch auth URL id.twitch.tv. We're going to do string, string bar request equals client ID equals client ID and client secret equals configuration client dot secret. Sean Horn's replying. Nice. Code equals code and grant type equals authorization code and redirect URI equals I don't think this matters. So for right now, we're going to leave it as that. And then we'll worry about the rest later. We do that. It's an HTTP post. Oh, it's the post body. I don't need to do this. This message content equals new. There we go. That's better. Actually, let's do this. Let's actually put a redirect URI in there. It's blank, so it'll be fine. Maybe. So then we send the async there. That'll ensure a success code and throw an exception if it doesn't happen. Well, what we'll do is we'll clean that up later. What I need to remember is that I'm building this for others to test with or for others to play with. And if we don't ensure success code, we'll throw an exception if it's not a 202 or 200, etc. So yeah, I can't do that because that would go right to the users. Let's do it this way. If response that is success status code, return. So then bar um, result equals await response dot content read as let's read as JSON async. How do I get that? That is an extension. Read as JSON async. I think it's an extension. JSON extensions. Okay. I don't think that's right, but we'll see. Oh, that's right. Right, some snoring doggies. Okay, that's it. I assume you're trying. By the way, I assume you're trying to. You do have someone who's just like, oh, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, and they're not really giving any context to, and they're senior enough that you think that everything they're asking for is something they want. Okay. Estimate stream function in that question. Gotcha. JSON async. Twitch authentication response. Return result. Return. Yeah. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to do this a little cleaner. I don't want to return a nullable object. Public bool. There we go. So from an API perspective, we'll do that. And that way, what? I don't want to switch. A switch on true. Really? I don't think Rider would give me that. It's big enough that parts of the org are doing very well, others not so well, and probably in between. Bigger companies are a real word. Whereas with a small company, you kind of either do it or do it well or don't. Big thing to do. So ideas are great. Um, ideas are great, but who's asking for them? Validation of the actual idea. Does it suit a customer, or is it because someone in the business is trying to innovate, right? Um, sharing the load with other people is useful. Um, that should be that, right? Because I've got the base URL. Um, and a collaboration can make people feel involved and engaged in a way that, um, sorry, that um, sorry, my brain's running away with this idea right this second, and I'm also trying to answer that, talk about that. um, I've had people who throw out all sorts of ideas. I've had CEOs, I've had CTOs and managers, etc., that throw out all sorts of ideas. And they can make the ideas sound like their own, they can make the ideas sound like a customer. Um, and the most successful ideas I've seen implemented are the ones that have been validated against what customers are doing in the application and are um, actually asking for. Um, innovation oftentimes requires more change, a more drastic change to your path and your procedures because you're trying to do something that's not within the bounds of the software you're building normally, or you're trying to improve on that. And that can come at a greater cost because lack of insight into that process, because it's new, because it's not business tested, can lead to messy code, right? Um, customers do know what they want. That's the problem. Well, customers can't tell you what they want, right? They have a need and you can fill the need, but you have to validate with them um the use cases. You have to make, like, the people who are producing ideas or documenting ideas are also responsible for validating those ideas in some way and not making sure you're wasting time on something that no one's ever going to use. I've been on the receiving end of features that people haven't asked for, but people keep saying, oh, we need this, we need this, we need this, and we build software and it just goes nowhere. I wish I could say that that's not happened many times throughout my career, and it's painful because that sort of stuff is also harmful to development teams. It destroys morale if, especially if you have less senior developers that haven't gone through it a few times. The first time you have a piece of software that you've spent a year or two working on, and then they're like, "Yeah, no," um, and scrap it because to them it's just a thing, right? And the time's not realized in the same way. Well, that's where processes like Agile come in, like that iteration. Like you build out enough of what you need, and keep iterating on that. Um, but you need again, you need the guidance, and the problem is if ideas are just thrown out there, and I've been in a situation where the seniority of the people mean that you don't question it, but then you realize they're just throwing stuff against the wall, and you don't know what you're actually meant to work on. Like have a new feature, the chances this feature is useful is maybe 10%, 90%. Even with market research, you cannot tell the difference. If you are um, being asked to develop that and you don't believe it has value, then the best you can do is share your professional insights, right? Sometimes you're going to develop software you don't want to develop. Even communication isn't going to solve all problems. um, um, Agile does work only if people are communicating effectively. It's my favorite word is effectively because we keep doing things, but we don't do them well because we just say we're doing them and then kind of skip on the hard parts. But it's also difficult to not get stuck in a complete loop of overanalysis. At some point, you've got to take a leap and do something. Um, Dota's joke there is more that the fact that everyone's um, transitioning. um, I got it, Dota. That one you didn't need to explain. Okay, so if I need to um, I need to test this, but I also need to make sure I don't keep spamming Twitch with requests. Um, let's do this. Let's see if we can get to this breakpoint. If we can get to this breakpoint, then we focus on committing that and adding the database stuff in. So if no one noticed before, what I was avoiding is returning null here. I don't want to have a null check on this side, right? I just want to be able to ask, is it valid? And is this authentication valid? If it is, then we save it. If not, then we do something else with it, and we'll worry about what that thing is afterwards. Go in here, go to profile. Wah, wah. Oh, I've got to be careful here. Hold on. Does client not have a base URL? Doesn't have a base address. Awesome. What's the point in setting up base address, Twitch client? I don't think I'm setting that up right. What am I doing wrong? I'm looking just for a quick example of. Okay, so that does work that way. Okay. That does work that way. That's why. So Mojo, you were right. I didn't think that worked that way. I asked my PM buddy for advice a lot. He's always like, you need a more experienced PM and insert 10 other things. I would argue your PM, more experience than not, is I think your PM just needs authority. Dang it. Um, uh, I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree with that necessarily, though. Um, Bad request. Let me just move this off screen so I can see the secret and stuff. I think I'm not doing I think I'm doing that right at all. New form URL encoded content. So Twitch expects that in form URL encoded parameters in the body. All required. Oh, let's put in redirect URI. Stranhorn Day. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is to software. The more I do, the more I doubt I know. That one needs to change as well. That does fix that. That's not a problem anymore. That was my bad. Got that. So we get in here, we make the call. How is this request bad? Make uh, Copilot. Let's do. How do I make a fix? I have an opinion on who does it better, but as a small company, we don't have the resources to prioritize hiring in the same way. It's hard to get a strong core team. Full stop. Oh. Um, um, yeah, hiring more people isn't always the right answer, right? You've got to hire the right people. If you have a good group of core team members, then you do have um, you do have a better shot, no matter whether you're big or small. If you just hire developers, like I'm a big believer of having developers who've been brought in interview with the team themselves. Right, I've seen that work effectively. Um, yes, it runs the risk of problematic hiring because you could end up with a complaint that it was unfair or it was biased, it was imbalanced. Um, you know, um, so there are some challenges to doing it that way, but it is a good way to make sure that your team can communicate and talk, because if you can sit in a circle as a bunch of developers with that interviewee sat in there and just talk about different experiences and different technologies and stuff, you can kind of get a good idea of like you might brainstorm an issue, or you might talk about what's the coolest thing you've developed, or all manner of things like that. And yeah. So what is this not doing? Anybody get any clues why a form URL encoded post is not working this way? Any insights into how I might get some insight into the request? Or Twitch bans me? So that's false. That didn't work. So let's go back into. I forgot to put the breakpoint on the right thing. So we do this. We click that. We get to here, right? Request URI. Um, Client. Take care, Delta. Have a great day. Trace and Aspire. How's that gonna necessarily give me insight into why it won't post? Where's that gonna genuinely curious? How does that? It's also not tracing the API, it's tracing just the web. Actually, yeah, nothing other than web is actually in there, is it? So I probably need to add some other things somewhere. Um, Either way, I don't want to risk showing the secret on the screen because I do not want to mess around with that. Uh, Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I get it now. I get that. That is there. I mean, it should have it, right? In the API. Will it let me have it on this? Oh, it doesn't do that on that one. Create. Oh, interesting. That's a web application. That's a web application. Yeah, that should work. Builder.add service defaults. You kidding? Yeah. Ryder would have done that for me. Yep. Hmm. I mean, I'll check, but yeah. Anyway, that's not going to give me the thing I want to know anyway. But we'll find out. So what I'm looking to do is figure out why. Well, will Twitch give me a bad? Well, Twitch does give me a bad request still, even though I've populated the right. So this redirect URI. Okay, so both of them have it. When Twitch comes back in with this request, is the API that's picking up, not the web side of things. So, well, connect Twitch. So, just for reference, API, no traces, API. Yeah, okay. So our request is there, our content. So the XWW form encoded, content length 212 bytes. That's fine. Our response is bad request. Now, again, I'm not trying to capture the token. I just need to make sure they're logged in, and then from that token, I'm going to pull the preferred username, and that's it. That's all I really care about, and that's what we're going to store, right? So we're going to store the fact that they are a Twitch streamer on that login, right? The only thing I can think is I'm making a bad request. Client ID, client secret, code, grant type, redirect URI. Those are all the parameters that I'm going to pass. So continue. We get to authentication. That's an invalid. Continue. Right. I mean, it gave me the 400. That's awesome. It told me that it happened as a 400 on there, so that would be useful. Are you using, what does it require it? PKC. I'm using. I always get confused over the right terms here. No, I'm using the authorization code grant flow in Twitch. Is the Twitch link self-hosted? Yeah. So this one kicks off the request for a code, right? So I'm going to authorize. I give it a redirect URL, which is actually the API URL, not my URL, which is actually configured as being um, what? Twitch TV port. What? No, this is calling to Twitch. You mean this one? id.twitchtv.443. No, that's Twitch. That's genuinely Twitch. So this is where I'm at online. Yeah. So gotcha. Okay. No worries. So this is the web. I'm opening this. So this is on 7102. That has a link in it that gives me a callback URL of 7173/link account, right? That is valid, right? Ultimately, if this was behind a gateway, this would be the same URL as the website /API/link account or whatever. It would just look like the same URL to the Twitch library. But this one goes back to link account, which then lands in here. This is not the same as when I log in, which is a different callback URL. I pass it the client ID. Twitch then gives me back a code, and then I have to go back with my secret and that code to validate. And then when I do that, it will give me back a auth token. That's the flow. Yeah. So this API over here, right, has a link account, which when I receive it, I take the code from the request and I call into my client, which then is meant to make this request. That's the second part of that. That's the OAuth token piece. So I've done the authorize request. Right. So first you make the authorize request asking for a code, and then you get the token based upon the code plus your secret. And that's your two-step validation, right? Yep, I am who I say I am. No worries. There is no query string, just has a link account immediately. Yeah, it feeds the parameters back in. So when I click on this, you'll see the URL. That's it. That's the URL that I clicked, right? So code, right? So that goes here. I continue and continue again, and you'll see that's the account. That's the URL that Twitch called. So it came back with the code and the state. So ultimately, I'll use the state. So when I click the link, that state should match, right? So I know that this request is coming from. So I'd create the request in the database with that state, and only when I get a matching state request would I actually link the account. Yeah. Yeah, their documentation there is a little bit Weird. But I meant to post it in the form URL encoded, and it's not working that way. I'm getting a bad request. So why am I getting a bad request? I'm going to dev.twitch.tv. I don't think there's any logging whatsoever. No. Twitch gives you absolutely no insights into API requests, no usage stats. You're only coding for the redirect. The redirect doesn't have anything. It's just a port and a URL. There's no extra pieces I need to add onto the redirect URL. That piece is working right. That flow is doing what I think it should do because it's getting into this linked Twitch account with the code. They pass the code in there. That's them doing the question mark. So ultimately, this will receive. Ultimately, this will receive more than just code. It will receive code and state, right? From the query string, and that state will get passed in and validated against. So, because then, but is it URL? What do you mean? Is it URL safe? What? Why wouldn't it be? I don't. Maybe I don't understand, or I'm not explaining where things are firing from. Are you concerned about me, the link that they click? This? There's no URL encoding. Well, it is URL encoded because it's a URL, but also that's the only thing I give it. That is linked in the Twitch callback. Otherwise, it would fail with an error, a bad callback. Right. So I've managed. I can't show you because I'm not showing client IDs and secrets everywhere. But 7173/link account is a valid callback inside of the Twitch. Right. Yeah. So that's in the Twitch account for this. So the client ID is configured in there, right? No, it's not that. It's set as confidential because of this flow. If this wasn't and this was public, then this would be the other flow inside of Twitch, which would be the implicit grant, from which you basically um, you give it your client ID and it just validates that way. But this is kind of two-step confirmation that your account's valid. Yeah, there's no encoding here. That's the problem. Because well, the only piece that is going wrong that I can see, admittedly, I've been wrong already today. This could be just me not understanding how software works, right? But this is form URL encoded content, so this is configured as form URL encoded. So whatever's in here, now the one thing I didn't validate. Hold on, let me move this off screen. I didn't validate this, did I? Because I was scared of showing it on stream. Okay. Validated. Those values are set. The secret and the client ID are set, and they're set correctly. I just remembered that I didn't change the secrets file, so they're in lowercase in the secrets, but it does work. These are populated with values. So we're getting bad request. Twitch gives you no insights. So I've got to believe that my method of building up this URL is actually, or building up this content, this request, is what's at fault. Um, I'm just writing something up. I'll say, um, form URL encoded. Um, so the only thing that the Claude has right this second is that I might want to do request dot content dot headers dot content type equals that. Willing to try it. That'd be frustrating if it is. Considering it says, even Claude says, being that you've got this, it should set it, but maybe that's the problem. So Claude has redirect URI, ensure you redirect exactly matches. Hold on. That might be it. That might be it. Hold on. Let's set this. Let's do that. I've never used more than one redirect URI. Now we use 3. So the example given doesn't have. I suppose it does call back to the root. So maybe it's because I'm not providing a valid callback URL. But let's see. Let's give it a whirl. So let's remove. I want to remove that header. I don't want to do this unless I have to. Yes. Yeah. That one wasn't, so that's why I was just changing that. That could actually be it. So I wanted it to redirect to profile. But I didn't think it mattered because it doesn't really do very much. Because Twitch has not got control at this point, so it would be me anyway. That is it. That is the actual problem. There you go. We got our ID token. What VS theme are you using? I don't remember. Goodness me. Oh, it's done it already. The preferred username. Okay. You realize at the same time I was thinking to suggest it. That's fun. Uh, actually, yeah, it is themed. No, this is themed now because I've enabled themes. So this is cool slate. Yeah. So if you enable the, what is it, the experimental setting? Uh, preview feed, where is it? It's a feature you can turn on to do. You've done this part, right? Where you've got these new panels. Use Visual Studio for professional, so I would not mess around with that sort of stuff. But it's a new, so by turning on the new styling, this is in preview. It gave me access to theming, so now I can change the theme. But yeah, there's a theme. There's like a setting in here somewhere that gives you something there. Product update, preview features. Preview features. There we go. So yeah, where is it? Somewhere in here. Can't remember where it is now. Was it here? Yeah. Anyway, we have authentication. We have a valid workflow. So it is the redirect URI. You do need that redirect URI in there to be valid. So let's do this. Notes Thursday. So as mentioned before, by the way, if you didn't realize, it is Thursday, not Friday. I'm doing this because I can't stream tomorrow. Um, um, Twitch all flow requires valid redirect provided. Um, register HTTP client with the interface. What's better? Twitch all flow requires valid redirect URI be provided. What's my configuration issue? My configuration cannot DI cannot use in parameters, which I dislike. I don't know why that would be, but that makes that. So it's not really a risk. It's more, when you're using record types, if you want kind of private, like read-only parameters and stuff, that's a little harder to attain. I was actually playing with. I got on a tangent on this, and I'm going to share it because talking about it again. I want to make sure that that's a thing, right? So, if you want to create parameters, right? If I do this, what you'll see is it'll still work, but now I can change, right? Age equals 19, right? I can actually, no, I can't change that one, but I can change that one. And although that's still 41 because it captured it on the inside, I can still change what that is and have a mismatch. If I put in there, right, I now can't use these variables outside of that. So that's why I'm using the in there to kind of give that behavior of, okay, I can put in parameters, but then I can capture them in variables that I then can't change. So it kind of gives that behavior. Chicken butties today, no bacon, no sausage. Well, Okay. I did see you. I was on a conversation with a friend the other day. I did see you guys modeling through the configuration of terminal. Anyway, chicken boys. So I've got the doctor's appointment tomorrow. First, they call me and I have to answer yes on the call, right? I didn't answer that one this time. I was busy. Then they text me and ask me to confirm by pressing one. Today, they text me and say, please check in online for your upcoming appointment. It's a 10-minute appointment. Anyway, let's get. Ooh, we changed a bit of things here. Hey, Radio Patrick. Going well. How about you? Nice. Okay, so we've got a few things to go on here, but this is all mainly around Twitch. So let's do um, introduce Twitch components for client author. So this kind of works. So if actually, let's just add this. Um, it's not in its final version. It needs cleaning up, but we can get there, right? So provide URL to click from user profile to link Twitch account. Um, link account must be configured in. No, no, I will not auto-gen the commit message. I don't want to. It's also my way of thinking through what I've done. If I auto-gen, I've then got to spend time reading through what it says, cutting out the fluff that it creates, and it adds no value. If I'm thinking about it, I can verify what I'm doing. So I'd prefer writing it myself. In dashboard as must. Oof. Late night, early start as well. That's a rough one. Must be given the dashboard as must be redirect URI in the creation. Yeah, let's do that for right a second. But I get that. I get using the AI to do it and to summarize it, but it also fluffs it a lot, right? And you've got to read through the fluff then. And honestly, if you're relying on your Git commits for release notes, like generating the release notes for for a product, that's scary. AI not to fluff it. Like, but either way, I don't want to use that. Uh, and I also don't believe in using git commits as release notes. Release prompts, yeah, but not release notes. And yeah, maybe I'm wrong there. Okay, so the next part of this is a little bit more complicated, right? Because what we need to do now is we need to um, create, when we click the link, we need to register. How am I going to do that? When we click this, what I want to do is this state should be generated. Why is this nonsense state the same? But either way, that state will get stored in the database for our account with a like a pending link. So I kind of see a table that is kind of ID, um, provider ID. I wonder if this is the one. The one issue I have with this is that when we bring it down, the Postgre DB goes away. So I have to have this running to even access the Postgre DB. I can't query it without the Aspire. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Yeah, I don't think I need to care about that. I don't think I want to link the two things because it's not a login provider at this point. So with lifetime persistent, so it's just there. But then what shuts it down? I don't. Okay. Yeah, that would be right. Okay, I get it. Yeah. I don't want the problem there is I'm using Docker extensively on different projects, right? So I bring things down and bring things back up, so that I can keep things running. Okay, that would limit me. So, well, thank you for that, so Timmy. That is useful. Okay, so I think I need a table that is ID, user ID, platform, which is that's nice. An enum of some form. We don't need a platform ID, I don't think, at this stage. We just need to capture this Twitch, right? Um, so what this will go into, this will be queried, and for the list of streamers, which is what that is, and this will determine what icons appear, right? Um, Platform channel, is that like from Twitch, that's preferred username, preferred name. That actually comes back in the preferred name, I think. This bugs me because you can actually, that could actually be, and that could be TBD Gamer, right? But my channel name is that. But I think they always coincide there. But I don't see any other way of getting the channel name back. So we use that for now until we test it out in other ways. I don't think we get anything back from Twitch that's going to be otherwise useful there. I don't think it gives us back any channel ID, anything like that. It's about the ID token. I'm trying to pull from the client ID token. What I don't want to do is I don't want to try and capture auth tokens or ID tokens too soon, right? If we need them, then we need to figure out what the right way to store them is. But I don't want to be capturing that information unless I need it. All I'm trying to do is validate that this is the user. So channel and then state. So this can be nullable immediately. This is set the moment I make the request, and this is set the moment I make the request. So what I want to do is insert a record into this table, generate an ID, a token, a string of characters that gets put into this link. So to do that, I'm going to have to generate that before I go into the page, right? Yeah, so everyone that logs in would actually get, yeah, I'd have to create that the moment they log in for all the platforms. I'll have to generate the state, and then when they click the link, generate the record, which is probably cleaner because it means I've actually made the request. If I generate this beforehand, yeah, so the path would be generate state, on click. So again, clicking this would open would navigate to Twitch, but I need it to do more than one thing. So and only when it's actually do I do it as a button click? Hard coded URLs. My teacher was slapped the JavaScript on me. Hi, Darmast. Yeah. If I'm validating something though, spending a lot of time building this up is not going to be very good, is it? So it's not hard coded permanently. I'll come in, by the way. So we're trying to. add-on functionality around this piece. I love JavaScript. Thank you for the follow. That meat. That mast. Coding is only bad if it stays there permanently. So not even PG-13. PG. Um, I'm think about all the different the different paths to go here. So a few directions. From the application perspective, right? It's register Twitch, register channel, intent of some form, right? Um, dear. So we're going to register the channel. The actual platform doesn't matter, so I don't want to put the word Twitch in here. So this would be register. Um, Take care, Mojo. Have fun. Is it a platform? Is it a channel? I think it's a channel. We're not talking about a platform. And it's I don't like using the word intent because it can come with other things. But either way, public record, um, share kernel, new folder. Um, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. No, we're not going to do this right this second. Going to have a platform. Private platform. There you go. There you go. No. It's the heads into the void. So, sorry. If you're new to the stream, what I'm working on is a today is a tool for supporting developers who stream. So basically, the concept is a site that will allow you to go and search for developers based upon product, based upon language, based upon platform, based upon whatever, and discover developers who stream. Right? It's a completely opt-in experience. Developers will be able to go into the site, register their account, link their Twitch, YouTube, etc. We'll add in more providers later once we've got the flow in. Again, I'm trying to get this flow set up before it goes full open source so that the actual underpinnings of the site are there. So if people decide to contribute, then there's at least some standards to follow. And not only just provide a site for people to search on, but also provide a set of APIs that people could hook into their bots to be able to, if they've got an account, they can query, is this person a streamer? Yes, they are. What platforms do they stream on? What the languages do they use? So that you would be able to use your bot to potentially query a person coming into your chat, and if they are a streamer that does the same sort of stuff as you, you might help promote them. There's no payment. There's no intent of any payment. It's all completely a free platform they intend to support. I'm building it as an open source platform so that people can share in some of these pieces. Because a lot of this stuff is stuff that I do on my larger project, but it's stuff that's not open source in there. So there's a lot of stuff in here that is, similar. And then we can talk about things using things like Aspire and Blazor, because those are very common .NET technologies, and the app is already getting a decent structure, so it's a usable experience for people. Okay, so this is going to be command. This is going to be platform, and do I have in here a user ID of any form? That's a good point. Mr. Lion, is there an actual user identity? Yeah. No. Nope. Oh, the cascading authentication state. Oh. Inject. Do I have that configured? I do have that configured though, right? Identity revalidating authenticate is a server-side authentication state provider that revalidates the security stamp. Identity user accessor. Is that inject? No, it's internal. So that's not accessible. The easier way is to use authorized view. That sounds better. Pages, profile, authorize, view. Let's move that code down there. Don't like that. We're going to have a debate on code behind. That is for certain. Um, Go away highlighting. There we go. So ultimately, I want to get access to the profile. So this would be something I'd want to understand how to do that. I know some people don't like it. I do not like this code in the page. I prefer code behind, but we'll get far enough along with the project that there's some pages, and then see how people feel, and then we'll refactor one way or the other, and that'll be the standard. I do not want to end up in a world where there's code behind in one and not code behind in another. Okay, so context dot user dot. Okay. What will this be? Identity dot. Yeah. Can I put? I can't do that, can I? Can I? I'm just looking for what I actually get on that user, so I can understand a little bit more about what's in the page at that point. If you are new to the stream, if you have questions, thoughts, opinions on what I'm doing, the stream is about discussion. It's not all about just um, just coding. Um, this is one of two projects I do on stream. This is normally on a Friday, but I can't stream tomorrow, so that's a challenge. Um, but yeah, we're gonna be doing this on Mondays and Fridays normally. Sorry, I'm just trying to line up all the stuff. Mondays and Fridays normally, and the intent will be to get this to a point where it's kind of doing everything I need. So these cards are being driven from, it's going to be interesting because I'm going to have me, and I'm going to have to mock all the rest of the data out to make this happen with sample streamers. Oh, that's repeat. That's not intentional. I think happens. The migration's running every single time, and I'm not testing. So the migration's running and inserting records. So that's cool. I'm load testing the database. Okay, so it doesn't let me do that. So JSON serializer dot serialize. I want to do that part. That'd be too much to ask for, wouldn't it? Yeah. We need to stop those migrations happening now. The seed should not happen. If not context dot set platform dot any. So we'll seed it off the fact that we've got. So what's happening is it's starting up and it's adding these platforms time and time and time again. So we'll just keep adding to that database. So let's do it that way. So it'll seed it if it doesn't exist. Let's go over here, open this. Identity is a claims pins, but yeah, that's interesting though. Ooh, object cycle was detected. This is going to be. That's interesting. However, it's unfortunately that time. So unfortunately, I won't be back tomorrow for stream. Doctor's appointment right in the middle of the stream, so that's impossible. But I will be back on Monday with more of this stuff. If you are interested in talking about this, you have any questions, you want to dig into it, anything deeper, you're more than welcome to join the Discord, and I'm happy to talk about stuff offline as well, and share what I know. Again, I'm not the best developer. I've been doing it a long time. I've done a lot of different software, but I don't know everything. I can't possibly know everything. So I just continue to try and do better day by day. But we will revisit this next week. We'll get the table set up. We'll get the migrations added for registered. This registered channel intent will insert the initial record, give us back that state ID. Oh no, it won't. We'll send the state ID in, right? That will be passed in, right? So that'll be state. And what we're looking for here is some sort of user, not secure string, an identifier to register the user with. And that way we can link up this user with their projects. But either way, what we'll do, we'll get that working on Monday. The intent will be by the end of Monday's stream, we should have a card showing with my stream listed in there, and then we'll figure out how to do mock data for a lot of this stuff, so we can keep testing with other things. I think what I might do is inject some of the data I'm doing now, in a way, but we'll see. You see it all, user claims, for getting custom claims. Gotcha. Okay, well, we'll give it a go on Monday. Okay, so that is me for now. We are going to, we read Brits the other day. Let's go and raid Fullbot. So Fullbot's recently released his game. Thank you for the follow this week. Fullbot's recently released a game called Block Shop. Is a very good game, by the way. I am resisting sitting and playing that for many hours. It's more devious than you might imagine. And he's doing a post-mortem on the release. Like, what could he have done differently? What sort of challenges he faced? What's he learned, etc. So I think that's a very good idea to do on software, is to reflect on what happened with it. A successful release as well, right? Not just a failure, but what happened, what things could we change? Why was it, so let's go raid Mr. Bots. I want to shout out one line. It's not Friday. Confusing myself with developers that stream, but One Line streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And on Fridays, he has a community day, which is a very great place to hang out. Lots of people normally, and the chat is all technology. And you can drop in the Discord if you're interested, and do that. And it's just a great place to be. But anyway, let's go raid Fullbots. I will be back on Monday. Thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you for the assistance, as always. And have a great weekend if I don't see you around. Take care all. Bye.